In today's video, I'm going to show you a hack which is going to solve 100% of your swimming problems. I'm kidding, there's no hacks, there's no shortcuts. So in today's video, I'm going to break down a triathlete's freestyle technique so you do not make the same mistakes. So let's jump right into it, have a look what we are working with. A huge shout out to this swimmer for letting me use these clips to analyze them. If you guys are out there and you are looking for your own stroke analysis sessions, please contact me via my Instagram or at lscperformanceclub@gmail.com to book in your session. Let's get started. We have a beautiful underwater angle here. Thank you very much. So let's have a look at this. So there are a few problems which I have spotted already. By the way, guys, if there's anything that you spot that I haven't, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts and your suggestions on what you think this swimmer should improve. So the first thing we're going to speak about is the arm entry. Guys, if you watched any of my videos, you will know I've said this 1,000 times. You have to make sure your arm enters in your number 11 position, also known as your shoulder width. As you can see in this video, this swimmer enters the water, and you can see if we draw a perfectly straight line down the middle of the body, you can see how this swimmer is coming across. Now, the reason this is so important is you want to make sure you're always doing everything you can in order to send yourself forward. As soon as you allow yourself to enter the water across or too wide away from your body, immediately you are sending yourself in the wrong direction. Number 11 position is very, very, very important. So rather than having this arm right here, we have to make sure that is the position where our arm needs to be in instead. So we have to make sure the arm is perfectly in line with the shoulder. So that's mistake number one. The best way to fix this, just do lots and lots and lots of number 11 position freestyle kick if you want to fix this problem. You have to make sure you are allowing your body to get into those good habits. If you never practice, you simply will not be able to ever do it. You have to make sure you are doing number 11 position kick as much as you can in your sessions, like I say, in order to get into those good habits. Let's keep watching. So if I play that from the beginning one more time, as you guys can see, the arm is coming right across the body. I think the right arm is a little bit better than the left. We can see both arms are entering across the body. And now moving on to our second problem. If I zoom in right here, this is not good, okay? The reason this is happening, this is two problems caused by one simple mistake. So as you guys can see right here, again, this is something I've discussed in many of my videos before, okay? You want to make sure, if you are trying to maximize your distance per stroke and you're trying to make every stroke as long as possible, you have to make sure you are gliding in your body line position. Okay, so every time your arm enters the water, you want to hold it there until the other arm has come into your high elbow position before starting your next stroke. As you can see here, every time his arm enters the water, he's almost starting his pull immediately. If we watch that just one more time, okay, every time his arm enters the water, there's no glide, his arm goes into his pull almost straight away. Okay, so instead of gliding, as you can see, the arm has now entered the water. There's no glide. It's straight into the pool, straight into it. Okay, so the high elbow position is right here. You can see it just above the water, but the pull has already started. So the arm should still be up on the surface of the water rather than going straight into your pull. Okay, so the arm should still be on the surface, and he should have switched about now. But as you can see in this video here, he's already halfway through his pull. And the reason why his legs are coming so far apart is exactly for the same reason. If you start your pull too soon, okay, your body will naturally start to sink very, very quickly. What he's trying to do is do this huge kick in order to try and counterbalance him trying to pull the water too soon. Okay, so you want to make sure you are gliding, you are continuously kicking, in order to maintain that flat body position and maximize your distance per stroke plus your efficiency. So as you can see, every single time he takes a breath, that kick goes right apart, okay? Huge, huge kick. And if you watch when he's not breathing, his kick is absolutely okay. And when he takes his breath, whoosh, okay? And that is because he's just taking that pull way too soon. So Make sure you are stretching into your stroke and you're avoiding those huge kicks. Always make sure your kicks are nice and continuous. Continuous doesn't mean fast. Continuous just means your legs have to always be kicking throughout your whole distance. Many people get confused with kicking your legs fast, okay? You don't have to be fast, you just have to be continuous. Whether that's a 2-beat kick, a 4-beat kick, whatever you can maintain, but your legs have to be continuous in order to maintain that flat body position. This is an above the water shot. So guys, again, as you can see right here, we've spoke about this already, okay? The arm has no glider whatsoever, okay? The arm is entering the water and it's going into the pool straight away. Once we get to this position right here, the position he's in right now is perfect. So rather than him starting his pull right now, he should be gliding. So the arm should be right here up until this arm. It should still be there. It should still be there. Okay, and here, so somewhere around this area is where he should be switching. So as you can see, his arm's already halfway through his pull. So let's move on from this. Okay, let's now have a look at his breathing. If you've heard me say this before, okay, when we are taking that breath, we want to make sure we're trying to keep that one goggle in the water and one goggle out, which I think this swimmer's doing pretty well. It doesn't seem to be over-rotating too much, which is good. Again, a very common issue so many swimmers have is they turn their head and their whole face is out of the water and it's sending their whole body off balance. Okay, we want to make sure we keep our head movement to the minimum. You do not want to be over-rotating on that breath. Always head movement to the minimum. Let's keep watching. So that's good. Okay, again, as you can see, that huge kick comes every time he's taking that breath. Okay, another beautiful underwater shot here. We're not going to talk about this anymore. We have already discussed this. Okay, crossing that center line. Let's now talk about his actual pull. Very, very important. If you are out there and you're trying to learn how to pull the water correctly, you should know and you should have heard about the phrase early vertical forearm, EVF. Okay, so as you start to initiate your pull, you need to make sure you are initiating your pull in that nice high elbow position. As you can see here, okay, there is no high elbow. Okay, there is a slight bend in the elbow, as you can see right here. Okay, but we have to make sure we are at a nice 120-degree angle. So when you are taking that pull, okay, as you can see, it's not too bad. Okay, the arm is just a little bit too straight. But 120-degree angle is what you should be looking for when you are taking that pull. You don't want to be too narrow. You don't want to be straight. Okay, you want to be in that nice 120 to 130-degree angle range in order to have a nice, powerful pull. Guys, you should always remember this. A straight arm is never going to be as strong as a bent arm. The reason why we always climb out of the pool and we make ourselves nice and close and get those elbows bent is because we are stronger in this position. As soon as you make those arms straight and try and climb out that way, you'll be nowhere near as strong. Okay, that's the reason why you always want to have that nice high elbow catch. Okay, get that palm facing behind you in order to send as much water behind you as possible. Which actually, in this video, this swimmer is doing pretty well. As you can see, the palm throughout the pull is actually facing behind pretty well, but you can just see that there is no early vertical forearm in this video whatsoever. Okay, so it's basically a straight arm pull almost the whole way through. Okay, so if you just watch that one more time, nice breathing, across, and a straight arm pull. Okay, we want to make sure we are avoiding this at all time, guys. Okay, one is going to cause injuries. It's going to cause a lot of strain on your shoulder. You want to make sure you're always getting into that high elbow position. So rather than trying to pull with your shoulder, you want to make sure you're extending and pulling with your lats, not your shoulders. Unless you are doing 50 freestyle, which is a lot more shoulder driven and a lot more straight arm rather than early vertical forearm. Like I said, this technique breakdown is for swimmers who are doing longer distances rather than short events. Let's now have a look at a head-on out of the water angle. So right here, if we have a look, that's actually a very, very good high elbow position. Okay, very good high elbow position, but where this swimmer goes wrong is on the entry once again. You can see, if we just let him come a little bit closer, just so we can get a little bit better quality. Okay, you can see how when the arm enters the water, it's a nice high elbow, but you can see here, as the arm enters the water, the elbow's going into the water first, and this will be A huge mistake for a lot of people, as this causes you to then drop your elbow to rather than getting your elbow nice and high. If you enter in a nice high elbow position, you'll then pull the water with a nice high elbow. If you let your elbow go into the water first, the chances are you'll either pull with a straight arm or you'll let your elbow drop. So this is the exact reason why we always want to focus on that nice high elbow recovery, which this swimmer has. But then right up on entry, you can see the arm is still reaching forward. The arm is still reaching forward right here. You can see it. The arm is still reaching forward, but the elbow is going into the water first. So we are entering in this position. Instead, you want to make sure that elbow stays nice and straight and aim for those middle fingers to enter into the water first. Okay, apart from that, not too shabby. Once again, you can see the pull has started too soon. If we now go back to the first video we started with, one more thing I wanted to very quickly go through is his body position. As you can see from this video, his body position is actually pretty good. He's on the surface, but his actual body line and his body position in the water is almost like this. Okay, you can see how his hips are in one place, his arm is in a different place, and his feet in a completely different place. Like I say, you always want to imagine you are rotating around your own axis. You do not ever want to move side to side when you swim. Your goal is to just rotate from side to side, not move. As soon as you start moving, you are doing extra meters, you are doing extra mileage, which you should not be doing. So guys, if you can see, every time he takes that breath, his whole body is traveling with your breath. So what you do not want to do is when you rotate, is allow your body to follow that rotation. You want to rotate around your own axis, but do not allow your body to go off that straight line. As soon as your body goes off that straight line, okay, you are not going forward, so you need to take a step back and readjust your technique. As I've already mentioned, guys, if you are looking for your own online stroke analysis sessions, please do not be afraid to reach out to me. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys soon.